young boys grow up, they discover themselves,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So, and they discover, the power that they have within them and the power that they're capable of, and how they can kickstart life in a sense.
Okay.
So, how did you handle the discovery of, this life force that we had within us? How did you handle that, when we discovered that? Because once we discovered that, it was a beast. Welcome back, man, to another episode of EVTV. All right, where we keep the vibes essential. All right, and everything is greater than good. I got another special guest with me today. This person needs no introduction. You can see the resemblance, but obviously it's my mom. I interviewed my dad the last time, and I wanted to come back and interview my mom to kind of get the other side of things and a different perspective. So, first off, how you doing? You all right? I see you a little nervous.
A little nervous.
A little nervous. All right. This is something you ain't really done before. All right.
That's not me.
Yeah. So me, obviously, me and the boys, we've done some interviews just within sports. Don't really have much experience interviewing people, but this is just something a little different. But for Mom, she's never really been interviewed or interviewed anybody. So y'all give her a little bit of encouragement. Y'all give her some claps. All right. But first question that I wanted to ask you, Mom, was moving down from Detroit after getting married, were you ready to be a mom?
Yes and no. I was 27, 28 when your dad and I got married. Mm-hmm. So, you're a little older, so you think your biological clock is ticking and you need to have a baby. But we were trying, but we weren't trying. I guess you would say if it happened, it wasn't a big deal. So, when it did happen, it was a surprise to both of us. So, but we were ready. Yeah, I was ready.
It was a surprise,
I wasn't trying to get pregnant, like I said, it wasn't.
Like you wasn't taking.
I wasn't taking anything.
And
I wasn't taking. No, I didn't have
Obviously, you weren't on birth control.
No, I wasn't on birth control, and we were using the rhythm method.
Yeah, that didn't work. But,
so we know that didn't work because I got pregnant with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, going into that, what was something that you were, going in your motherhood journey? What was one of the things you were, I would say, worried about the most going into it? Not having a kid before, this being something new to you. What was something that concerned you going into it where you just, was a little bit unsure about?
I really didn't have any fears. I wasn't unsure about anything. I was ready, and I took it all in. You're pregnant. You're gonna start. Your body starts changing. I just was ready to be the mother that whatever the Lord wanted me to be.
No doubt. So, going into that and past that, after we got here or I got here,
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be between when I got here or when Nick got here and we were both here, what was one of the things that challenged you the most? What was one of the things that made that motherhood journey a little bit, difficult? Or what's one of the times you say, this was the hardest part for me in motherhood?
Mm-hmm. When you're going to be a mother and you have a child, when you have that child, it's kind of innate in you that you're going to nurture, nourish, and care for that baby. And when that baby is born, it's a different level of love. Mm-hmm. It's like, I love your dad, but y'all were like, right. I love my babies. Yeah. So the challenge, I guess, was keeping you safe and protected, trying to, not be a helicopter parent, give you some freedom. We needed to know who your friends were, what kind of parents your friends were,
Right.
had rather, um, that type of thing. So it it wasn't it wasn't really I wouldn't say a challenge. It's just you just kind of you got to take care. You're going to take care of your kids. You're going to protect them whenever you can. You want to protect them mentally and physically. So, because there's a lot of things happening out here, and you can't be with them all the time. So, you just that's probably the scariest or the hardest thing to just try to protect your child. Even though you keep God in everything, but there are some things that you can control. You don't just let your child go with, oh, hey, mom, this, my friend at school is this, and can I go? Oh, yeah. You don't.
Right, you just keep that environment
Yeah,
controlled.
yes, control their environment.
No doubt. And that leads me into my next question, which was, with all of us under one roof, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 black men, in a sense. You got 2 black boys and a black husband.
Yes.
That is a police officer, which is you could say, one of the more dangerous occupations.
Mm-hmm.
With all of us under one roof, number one, I want to get to kind of what the world is coming to and kind of what it is today. But just in terms of managing all 3 boys, like, how was that, how was your journey there in terms of, obviously, Pops, we got it. Nobody know how to cook. Nobody know how to do nothing around here. You know what I mean? You got 3 boys that just are dirty, stinky, smelly. You just like, how did you manage that?
Honestly, it wasn't that tough.
Okay.
I mean, it really wasn't that tough. Boys or girls, they're your kids. You take care of them. You got to feed them. You got to clothe them. They got to go to school. It's just, you just do what you have to do. Your dad worked a lot, so I kind of sometimes felt like a single mother in a way, because because over 20 years he worked deep nights, so that meant, and then he worked a lot of overtime, so through the day he's not home, at night he's gone. If he is home through the day, he's sleeping, but he still managed he was always there. So I just need to feed him and make sure he's strong and healthy to go do what he has to do, and just make sure the kids are taken care of. So, and you and Nick weren't bad kids, for one thing. So that was a blessing. I didn't have problems.
Right.
So it wasn't that tough.
Gotcha. Okay. So going into, I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult, honestly. But from there, right, you talk about, Pops working, because I know he worked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's one of the things that you wish Dad could have done a little bit better throughout raising us, or just, throughout the process of us growing up? What's one of the things he could have did better or more of?
Honestly, I don't think I could have asked him to do more than he did. Like I said, he did work a lot, but he was very hands-on. Right. I mean, y'all know that if it was long as it was some kind of sports activity, y'all were in it. I mean, you play you play baseball or whatever you call that ball. You hit it off the T-ball. Yeah, I hated it. Had to, take you to that. You were in T-ball, you were in basketball, you were in football, you were in track. Y'all were. He was always there. So, even though, he sacrificed a lot as well, working, but he also sacrificed like sleep or that time to rest his body to be with y'all. So, I mean, short of making some bottles and changing some diapers.
Right.
No, I mean, it wasn't, I did my part, he did his part. It's a team effort all the way. So, if somebody is, can't, he didn't like the haircuts. Y'all know I gave y'all the bomb haircuts.
Yeah. You were actually all right at first.
So, I was a barber. I was whatever I had to do because when he couldn't do it and then he needed to take y'all to the doctor through the day because I worked too, he took y'all to the doctor. Right. So it wasn't
too bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. I couldn't have asked for a better partner.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's one of the things I kind of saw growing up with you guys it was a partnership. It's it's not a competition, right? Like it's not,
No, I never felt like, well, I cook, so you need to cook, or I'm cleaning, so you have to clean. I just never felt that way. And I guess because the way I grew up, it wasn't that way. So you learn from what you see. So growing up, my dad and my mom both worked, and they split the responsibility. My dad cooked, because he worked afternoons, she worked days. So she had her dinner ready when she got home. He went to all the school activities, because he was home through the day. She was at work.
Gotcha.
So, I just always saw that they worked together. He's the landscaper. She's the interior decorator. That's just, how it worked. So.
No doubt. Kind of going back a little bit to having the 3 boys in the house. With the kind of state of the world today, right? What's going on with young black men and how the world views black people, you know what I mean, black men in a more specific state. We've come a long way as a people, right?
Yeah.
But, it's still a lot of
long way to go.
It's still a long way to go,
yeah.
Right? So with that being said, and you still see these things of these black kids getting killed every day, right? Whether it be police, whether it be whatever the case may be,
right?
Right? How did you keep that mindset, or how did you kind of manage that thought of one of your babies possibly not coming home?
I didn't think about that. You manifest what you think about, or what if you're positive, in most cases, positive things can happen. If you're always thinking negative about stuff, no, I never thought that. And then again, and like saying, or being a helicopter parent, I knew where you were. I knew where you were supposed to be going. And so I didn't worry. And of course, we stayed on our knees praying. That's all day, every day. I have to pray for my husband to come home every day because he's a police officer out there. I have to pray to, my kids go to school and come home, every day. I still pray for y'all, all 3 of y'all, every day. That doesn't stop just because, that child is an adult and you're married or whatever the case may be. Right. You still worry about your children no matter what the age, because it's still your child no matter what the age. So I didn't worry. I put it in the Lord's hands, and I just gave it all to prayer.
No doubt. So I was, and that was my next question in terms of worry. Like, I'm not a big worrier. I don't, I just feel like that's putting a down payment on something that you might not even buy.
Right.
So it's just like, I don't really worry, but, I know you just said prayer, but is it anything else that helped you to kind of calm that worry or just alleviate that worry at all? You know what I mean? What else did you do, if anything?
Well, some of it may have been that I hope that we had instilled in you and Nick, to make the right decisions about things. So and being a good parent or trying to be a good parent, like your dad had mentioned when you asked him about some things, about just knowing right from wrong, doing the right thing. If you're being respectful and kind and humble and just honest, then that should come back to you. If you're doing the right thing, most of the time, right things happen. So, I felt that. And then, y'all were in church. Y'all went to church. Y'all, it's, you were baptized early.
We had good morals.
Right. Yes, you did. You did. Good moral, good upbringing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to say so myself,
Yeah.
y'all didn't, you were just told right from wrong, being honest that, lying was my thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't lie to me. Whatever you do, don't lie to me. 'Cause when you start lying, it perpetuates more lies, and then, it's always going to come back around. It's always going to come to light. So, I felt that we had instilled enough in you and Nick that you would make the right decisions and choices and things. So, aside from us praying on it all the time, that, my boys would come home every day.
No doubt. All right. So the next question I have is pertains more so to us as older kids, teenagers, high schoolers, going into college, whatever the case may be. We are growing up. Mm-hmm. And as young boys grow up, they discover themselves. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So, and they discover, the power that they have within them and the power that they're capable of, and how they can kickstart life in a sense.
Okay.
So, how did you handle the discovery of, this life force that we had within us? How did you handle that, when we discovered that? Because once we discovered that, it was a beast.
If I'm understanding your question correctly,
if you think I'm asking that, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. Y'all were different in that coming up, but how did I handle it? So how did I handle you all with girls, the girls? I do believe I bought y'all first box of condoms.
Yeah. You bought me some. You bought me some. I don't know if you bought Nick, but you bought me some.
And I feel that I've always been one. Y'all can talk to me about anything. Mm-hmm. I'm not, not prudish. I'm not, like, oh, I don't want to know all that. Mm-hmm. You can talk to me about anything. So, and because I want you to know the truth, or from my experience anyway, mm-hmm. what I feel is the truth, or what can happen in situations. So I think I always just felt like we taught y'all to be respectful of women. Mm-hmm. If you don't cover up, things can happen. And will happen. And then the consequences of not doing that. So, again, just kind of keep, harping on those things and I still now say, make sure, not you, but your brother, he's single. So, things can happen. Don't get yourself in that situation. Just, a lot of women think about, daughters, oh, don't you get pregnant, and maybe, I don't know if all mothers are worried about boy. I didn't want no baby daddies as sons. Mm-hmm. I didn't want that. So, just trying to keep y'all aware. Is what I did. And hey, this is a way to stop that. And I've always said, I don't care what she says, shot, pill, patch, I don't care. Doesn't stop. Not only pregnancies, just diseases too. So, it's a lot out here now. Mm-hmm. So, monkeypox or whatever going on. Monkeypox. So it's real.
Yeah, no doubt. But, man. So you talked a little bit about Gramps and Granny.
Hmm.
What is one of the memories you had with them? They both gone to glory. But what is something from them that you kind of took with you, or just give me a good memory from when they were both, here and when you was coming up, or as you were older and they were grandparents.
Hmm. Um, it's a lot of good memories. I mean, I feel like I had a good childhood, as good as it could have been for, two parents raised in Alabama, no high school education, moved to Detroit, got jobs, made money, and did well for themselves,
Yeah.
considering, you know.
No, didn't they? So Grandpa got out of. He went to what? 8th grade, 6th grade.
I think he went to 10th grade, and my mother was like 8th grade.
And said, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, I mean, their childhoods were way different from mine. Down in Alabama, I remember the story is that my dad and my uncle, sold cotton from their cotton field, a patch of land they had, to make the money to get to Detroit. My mother was sent to Detroit young, because basically, my grandmother couldn't afford all the kids. So she was sent up before my grandmother even came up. So it's just a lot, and it's a good thing, I think, that you're kind of doing this and asking questions, because it's a lot of things that are still mysteries to me, or I don't have answers to. Even though my mother probably we talked about it, but it was kind of just a glazing over. It wasn't really any details or stuff. So, and as older people, as your people leave you, and you don't have anybody to answer those questions for you.
Right.
So, but I had good memories. My dad and my mom took me fishing young. We got up early, went to Canada fishing. I hated it, but it's just a memory because I hated it.
Yeah.
They love to fish, so we went fishing a lot. We went on a couple of vacations. They weren't, they didn't have a lot of money, but we drove to New York. I remember all the way to New York and stayed with my aunt and listen to the Jackson 5 video cassette all the way. Not video, but the cassette tape all the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just those, I have some good memories.
No doubt. So, going on, I talked to Pops about this, but I want to hear what you have to say as well. Going into a new chapter, Yaya.
That's what it is today. I'm kind of thinking I might change it.
So that it changes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got time anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I'd say I'm gonna be Yaya, but I might just want to be Grandma.
Yeah. So going into it, baby girl.
Yep.
Some things just something that you haven't experienced,
right,
personally. So, but tell me some things that you are excited to do in that journey that you didn't necessarily get to do with us.
Having a girl,
yeah. Having a girl.
Spoil her. Well, because it's your baby. Y'all have kids. That is my duty to spoil them. So, whatever that is, they get what they want. I'm just looking forward to just being that granny that she can come to and confide in, and enjoy being with. I want to burn some memories into her little heart, or their little hearts, when they all get here, that they remember me, or oh, Grandma used to do this or something, just a tradition they want to start because of me, or us. So I'm just looking forward to just spending time with her. I'm 60, so my mother was a grandmother early.
Mm-hmm.
So just So my time is shortened with my grandkids because it's like, yeah, I wanted y'all, okay, don't be baby daddies, but don't let me be 80 before I get a grandbaby.
Yeah, I know.
So, just want to be there. I want to be at the high school graduation, the college graduation, the wedding, So you just want to see all that with your grandbabies, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's great, man. To be honest, if I'm keeping it 100% real, that's part of the reason that me and Maya were like, screw this. Let's
do it. Yeah, because because it's like if you waiting to have enough money or have the right job, or it's like that never happens. Right. It's like, unless you hit the lotto, but it's, hey, you gonna make it work no matter what. You got a village to help you with it. Maya's parents are strong, and just like us, been there, gonna be there. So, y'all support system is really strong.
It's solid. Yeah, that was another thing too that I'm super blessed and grateful for. Because we were talking and I'm like, man. And then another, like a couple of my partners they was getting pregnant too, and I'm like, I kind of want to have it all, like, want them to be around the same age.
Yeah, kids. Yeah.
But at the same time, our parents ain't getting no younger.
Exactly.
So you need to come on with it. We only gonna have them help for so long.
For so long, yeah. So, because you fortunate. I was almost 30 when I had you, so we had Daddy. You were like what, 12 or 13?
I was like 13.
Yeah. So, Nick doesn't have a lot of memories of him. He has more memories of Mama. Yeah. So it's just, I couldn't help that, but when I had children, or when I started having children, but she had a long life with all her grandchildren. So, and she loved that. They both loved that. So, I just want the same for me and your dad.
No doubt. Well, that is going to put a wrap on the second episode of EVTV. Mama, I just wanted to tell you on camera that I love you. I appreciate you for everything you've done for me, everything you've done for Nick, everything you've done for the family. I talked to Pops, and I was just, thanking him about showing us how to be a man, and the necessities of providing and things like that. But I would say for you showed us the other side. You know what I mean? How to love, how to cherish, and just kind of be good people as well. So again, I just thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you for being courageous and getting on this podcast right here.
Only because I love you, son. I love you. Do anything for you. So now come go give me a glass of wine.
Now we get some wine and relax.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. All right, you good.
Okay. You did not go in the order of these questions.